Hello boys, men, and sirs, welcome back to Austin Avenue. I'm almost doing a split right now to get low enough so that, yeah, everything makes sense. Today we're gonna be talking about a process. Why? Because as guys, we usually like, and then I guess everyone, but I think guys are more prone to this than ladies. But as guys, we like things to happen really fast and immediate, and I am definitely one of those. I claim full ownership of, hi, I want everything to happen, one, the way I want it to happen, and two, immediately. Anyway, process is often overlooked for us, and so I come to bring the knowledge of all of that. So, you may notice that we are in a slightly different location. That is because I finally moved out of my parents' house, and here I am in my new room with my friend Eric and Steven. We all live in this beautiful townhouse together. Perhaps we'll do a tour one of these days, but the house isn't ready to be toured today. It was while this whole moving environment situation was happening that I actually was made aware of the process and a process in general. Obviously, I've been aware of that things take a process before, but this was the first time that it really kind of just struck me right in the face like a wet fish. I had been wanting to move out of my parents' house for months and months and months. I've been telling everybody that that's what I wanted to do, and I genuinely, in just the core of who I was, wanted to kind of take that next step of independence. But something kind of happened when my friend Eric finally bought the townhouse that we're in now that I wasn't really expecting. I got scared. For the first time, I would have to be paying rent, I would have to be planning out what I was eating and buying my own groceries, and I would have to be figuring out how to live with two other people where one of them owned the house. I mean, we had all been friends before moving in, but this was definitely a brand new situation. We had never lived together before. Laying in bed, I can remember, I really can vividly see, I'm lying in my bed that first night and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, Austin, have you made a huge mistake? I felt out of control and uncertain, and I genuinely was thinking, how much would it be horrible if I just rented the truck again and moved everything out that next day and went back to live with my parents. It is crazy, but that is really what was going through my head. You know, I had a job, but it isn't a great paying job, and so would I have enough to cover my expenses? Would I have enough to just survive for, you know, living on my own? We were friends, but were we actually gonna get along? Were we gonna argue? What was that gonna be like? I take my relationships super, super seriously, perhaps too seriously. I really analyze them and think them through, probably too much. And so I was really afraid of, you know, would we get along? Would this hurt our friendship as together? That all happened a few weeks ago, and now I feel good. I feel more secure. I feel like I have more just emotional stability, and that is because I realized that things like moving into a new situation and needing to adjust is a process. It takes time. It's not immediate. I kind of had this expectation that I was going to show up in this new house and immediately feel the way that I thought I would feel, free and independent and just overflowing with joy when I moved in. And that was not the case because I had removed myself out of the situation where I felt loved and safe and secure and had a bunch of control over what was happening, and that just wasn't the case anymore, so I had to adjust. That was eye-opening to me because, as I said, I had forgotten that that was something that is hardwired into us. You know, I'm used to just having every need met almost immediately, you know? When I text someone, I expect them to text back. When I'm hungry, I go down and eat something. When I, need to go to the store, I can make things happen pretty quickly, so I'm not used to needing to trust and submit to a process for things to happen. And yet, for these big life changes, or even small life changes, a process is usually required. And it's something that, as I said, is often overlooked. So the main thing I wanted to bring to you guys and put into your headspace so that you can think about it and spend a little bit of time preparing yourself as you move into a different life stage or whatever, that the most meaningful things in our lives usually are the result of a process, and that being able to be aware of and then submit to the process will give you a lot of strength and give you a lot of freedom. Perfect example, every year at camp, this always was a part of the campers. They would come to camp and a lot of them would feel homesick. Really, homesickness is, you know, having a family that loves you, but then also the loss of the familiar, the loss of what is normal to you and where you feel control and where you're loved and etc., etc. And so when you move to feel those things in your new position, in your new location, you feel more, you feel less homesick. You feel more in control and more happy where you are. So that was the biggest thing I wanted to bring to you guys today, but then I also have 3 quick tips for you moving forward, whether you're moving into a new job, whether you're moving into a new home, whether you're going to summer camp. As you're moving into this new situation, I would encourage you to take a hold of these 3 things because they will help create a healthier process for you. Thing number 1 that I observed is introducing routine, healthy routine into my life. I began making my bed every morning. I began getting up at the butt crack of dawn, like 5:30, 5:45, and going to the gym in the morning, which got me heave-ho and ready to go. Right at the crack of dawn. And then I also had the same breakfasts every week. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I make my smoothie. On Tuesday and Thursday, I make cheesy eggs. And these things allowed me to feel control to a certain extent in my new situation, and it helped me make the adjustment by adding a certain amount of speed and, again, healthy control into that process. Whew. Hello, hair. Let's get into place, okay? Thing that I observed number 2 / a tip for you guys is don't underestimate the power of social support. Whenever you're in a new environment where you're starting to feel stressed or whatever, seek out meaningful relationships, whether it's joining a church or joining a gym or even showing up at the same coffee shop the same time every day. Put your neck out. Put your hand out, pursue meaningful relationships with the people in that situation. Open your heart up to those people. It's gonna be risky. Dude, it takes a little bit of hoopsva. It takes a little bit of balls to do, and it takes guts to do, but it will be worth it because you cannot underestimate the power of being able to invest in someone else's life and then also have them invest in you. How critical that is to building the process out to get you into a place where you are feeling happy and feeling safe and secure in that new environment, that new situation, that new relationship, etc. The third thing that I observed in my own life that was helpful, that also could be helpful for you, is prayer and journaling. I'm a Christian and I also really enjoy writing. And so spending time every day praying about the situation that I was in, and then also when it got really, really stressful or I had moments of a lot of anxiety, being able to come and journal on my computer, that's where I journal, was really helpful for me. I was able to both lay my heart out to God, the creator of the universe, and then also be able to look through my thoughts again on paper by writing them. And I found that to be really therapeutic. And perhaps it will be for you too. Trust the process, lean into the process, take those things, those little tips that I advised you, and don't fight the process. Fighting the process cheats you out of that experience and the growing. If I had fought the process and had packed up and moved, I would not have grown in independence. I would not have forced myself to budget and to figure out how much I had to spend. Same thing with relationships. If you cut out of a relationship because you don't trust the process, because you want to fight the process, you're going to cut yourself off from that growing that happened there. So I'd highly encourage you guys to trust the process and lean into it. It's a part of life, and we can embrace that it's the beauty of the human experiment, the human experience. Though I suppose for some, humanity is also an experiment. Hey God! Just kidding. That may have been heresy. Not sure.
Blasphemous.
Free something if you count it up every single time I said process in this video. Stay studly, trust the process, and I will see you next time, gentlemen.